Hey everybody, tonight I've got Labo Santal 33, came out in 2011. It's considered a woody aromatic. I've never smelled it before, so this is my first time smelling it. This is actually my first Labo as well. You know, I've heard all the hype of, I don't want to call it hype, but the stereotypes of, you know, Labo's a lot like Apple. It's expensive and only New York hipsters like it. But I think this is one of the most recognizable. This is apparently one of the most popular, so we're going to give it a shot. The notes are sandalwood, of course, the name Santal, papyrus, leather, Virginia cedar, violet, cardamom, iris, and amber. I don't like the iris note, well, I don't like iris in general. Sorry, but I'm glad it's kind of at the bottom. So we're going to see. I like leather. Let's give it a shot. Give it a couple pumps, and there we go. Oh, wow, I like it. I thought I was going to be like, oh, yeah, it's not that good. Oh, Labo, overrated. I totally like it. So, I get the sandalwood. The papyrus is really interesting. I've never smelled such a defined papyrus in a fragrance before, but I really get it. I get like this crinkled, old, dry parchment. And I mean that in the best way. I don't mean it in kind of like a gross, old, newspapery way. I mean a really fine parchment that's been stored correctly. I imagine like, the weirdest thing, like what came to my head was I imagined like some kind of scroll room in ancient Egypt and someone's just pulling a scroll out of the wall. That's what's in my head for Santal 33. Yeah, so I get the leather. It's a dry leather. It's a just dry brown, middle of the line leather. It's not super fresh and sharp, but it's also not old, worn, and beaten. It's nice. The leather is average. It's not an extraordinary leather to my nose. I get the Virginia. I get the cedar. I do get the cedar. It's a good cedar. It's like, you know those like square. I don't know if this is just me, but you know those like squares that you would put in like drawers and things like that. The cedar squares that kind of freshen the drawer, like an air freshener cedar square. That's what it is to my nose. I'm not picking up the florals too hard. I can maybe kind of pick up a powderiness of the iris, maybe the violet. I mean, you know what? I kind of get it, but that could be anything, a combination of the cardamom and the amber as well, tricking my nose. Sometimes they can work together and just kind of mislead you and trick your nose. What's floral, what's sweet, you know, what's really giving that kind of sweetness. Because they kind of get sort of a floral sweetness, but in a way, cardamom's kind of floral. And I guess maybe I get the amber at the bottom. What's really going on is the sandalwood, the papyrus, and the cedar. I really like it. I think it's the most interesting sandalwood fragrance I've smelled. I don't think sandalwood is a very exciting note. If I can be frank, I think sandalwood's a boring note. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, sexy sandalwood. What? Sandalwood's not sexy. I mean, it's comforting. It's a very therapeutic note. I've smelled Diptyque Tamdeo, however you want to call it, and I really like that. That was a really kind of benchmark sandalwood. It's a very accurate sandalwood, but that's all it is. It's a one-dimensional sandalwood. This has a little more to it. I like it. I would not be, but because this is a Labo, I would not be paying Labo prices for this. I'm not paying, what, $140, $150 for this? No way. But it's very pleasant. I will definitely wear this little decant fella right here. I don't know. Maybe I go on eBay and oops, I dropped it. Oh, okay. I go on eBay and buy like a 10 milliliter, 15 milliliter, just have it when I'm feeling it. I would actually own a bottle of this, but I would not buy it at Labo prices. No way. If this is under $100, I sure would. I think it's pretty good. I like it. Has that woodiness. Sandalwood's so clean. It's not a creamy sandalwood to my nose. Or some people call it milky. Some people call milky, creamy sandalwood. To my nose, it's not. Maybe that's the kind of cedar, giving it a little extra oomph, a little extra dry woodiness. I think pushing it a little more masculine. I think the creamier, milkier sandalwood is more feminine. This is more masculine sandalwood in my nose. Papyrus is so interesting. I really like the papyrus. Yeah, it really does evoke that kind of old, ancient scroll room feel. It's comforting. It's really pleasant. Some people are like, "Oh, this is a sexy compliment monster." This is not. Maybe in New York. Okay, New York's your Labo bubble, but in the rest of the world, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a compliment monster, but I would say it's very nice and pleasant. In the same way, I would say Tamdao is very pleasant and nice. This is definitely something I could see myself owning. This is something that you just wear to be comfortable at home, or just kind of out with friends, but a chill night. This isn't, some people are like, "Oh, I wear this to parties." Okay, weirdo. Like, this isn't like a party fragrance. This is an enjoyable at home reading a book fragrance. This smells like being in a dry sauna. It's very nice. And that's why I like Tamdao so much, is kind of have that dry sauna feel. If you're kind of a weirdo like me, rhinoceros, zoologist rhinoceros also has that kind of feel. It's very nice. I just did a review of Plum Japanese. I'm scrubbing that off, but I've got the Santal 33 on this arm. So I'm going to scrub this one, but I'm going to leave this one. I really like it. This is very friendly. I could recommend it to most people. I could recommend it to anybody, actually. It's different. It's unusual. It's not kind of that mainstream fragrance DNA, but it's very pleasant. I don't see anybody being like, "Oh, this is kind of weird." This is kind of like that vetiver safe fragrance, sandalwood vetiver, like just very safe ingredients. You're not going to offend anybody, but I don't think you're going to wow anybody. Maybe in New York you're wowing people with Santal 33, but it's good. It's interesting. But I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, wow, what's that?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh, sandalwood fragrance. It's nice." Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I can find like budget discount Santal 33 on eBay, and then maybe I'll pull the trigger on that, because I do like it. It's just it has a very it's both flexible and inflexible with what you can use it for. This is this is a low energy scent. This is not a high energy, "All right, let's go" kind of thing. This is something that you're relaxing in, and that's good. There's a time and a place for that. Anyways, until next time, guys.